My early childhood, I think of the times that my father, especially, would be raking the lawn and put a
I began this project in the hopes of discovering some memories that matter most to my family members, just a few of the many that were so instrumental in my childhood. I wanted to learn more intimate details of their lives that I would not otherwise think to ask during the motions of everyday life. I met that goal and more as I connected with them and made connections with their childhood, the way they are today, and how I have seen their impact on my life.
And my job was to mow the lawn with a push behind.
My
There's a
papa worked
power,
hard when
gas
he was
power,
younger and
and
really
he
never
would push it
stopped. In all
along
of
with
my
a,
memories, he's
I
busy
think,
running
an
around,
olive
tending to
branch and sit with
landscaping,
him in the front
rescuing
yard.
me and my mom
That
when
was my
things in the
first
house
real
break,
job. And
and
I spent
caring
some
for his
good time
family
with my
and
great.
strangers alike. But family matters dearly to him, and I see that he valued the time he spent with his siblings, and particularly his grandfather during his youth.
I would do half the lawn, and then noontime would come, and my grandfather would make me some ravioli from a can and
The silly
lemonade.
details, like what he would eat or how much he was paid, were so evident in his recollections that it was obviously a valued time in his life.
when I think of my
I
early
spent most of my school
childhood, I
vacations
think
on trips with
the
my mom and
times
my
that
Mimi.
my
They both have
father
such a strong
especially
sense of
would
adventure. Me,
be
not so
raking the
much, but
lawn
that's not
and
important.
put us put,
What's important is that those are the memories that my Mimi cherishes, and I realize that it might stem from the
the
10-week road
rituals.
trip that she took with her brother and
It
her
was
mother when she was in her late
you
teens.
had to have something on
After
your
the
nose
interview,
or
she
finger
excitedly brought me into the living room, pulled out her dozens of photo albums, and looked at the photos with me. The nostalgia of reminiscing was clear in her face, and it made my heart warm.
it brings back. I can visualize a lot of it. I can visualize being back at that time and doing that thing, whether it was um, going on a trip. My mother, my brother, and I took a trip across country when I was 15, about to be 16, and the three of us went across country all the way to California and back in a Volkswagen Bug, and the memories of that trip are huge.
I have always admired my mom, as many do. I admire her for her strength that she has even when it's hard and she doesn't want to be. I also admire her for her responsibility and ability to care for others. I see that caring side of her represented in her preservation of a seahorse that she found 40 years ago.
It's small and it's shriveled up, but it's in perfect condition. I take it out every now and again and I'll show someone if they have an interest, and it's always kind of neat. It is something special for me, and I found it, and I'm always really proud of it that I've kept it intact, and I keep it in a special box.
She included in her interview that she has always been thankful for my overall
So
easygoing
easy
attitude.
for me to do all that, go to school and work, and you were so flexible that you just made it so easy for me. And I think to myself, that is part of the temperament that you have that makes you who you are. And I've always been appreciative of that.
I'm so proud of what she's done to
Go
be
and see
successful and take
trips
care
when
of
I
her
was
two
younger.
daughters. Speaking of, I also had my little sister Kerrigan sit down. I thought she would be apprehensive, but she was actually very willing, and I'm proud of how thoughtfully she answered my questions.
Eat candy, like that candy I ate after my peanut butter and jelly.
The taffy.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
This was a wonderful experience as her innocence was so clear and pure. The most important things in that moment for her were her dolls, taffy candy, jump rope, our cat Clyde, and an imagined trip to Disneyland with me and my Mimi, where she met Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Ultimately, what I learned from these short interviews with my family is that so many things are often overlooked in life, but there is so much joy in these little things. It's important to notice and cherish them while we can.